I was waiting for the counter to say
It's
zero
going.
one. Not on here. Oh, is
Oh,
it? Okay. Welcome everyone to the Whovians cast. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212. This is the 2002nd episode, and I'm here with the blind dyslexic Scott.
hello.
That's his name. I'm not just calling him
Yeah, yeah. It's my
that.
it's my name, the blind dyslexic.
So, all right. People know my opinion, and if you didn't know my opinion, you'll find it out in a minute. But let's go with Scott. What do you think of Lux episode 2?
I can honestly say it was an improvement from the last one. I thought the concept was interesting. They could have brought him. They it seemed a bit hinky the way he came to be,
Mm,
but I thought it was kind of unique.
right.
And the fact that they were this is going to be spoilers, folks. So I just want to tell you, I may release a few spoilers. The How he trapped the people on film, I thought that was interesting.
Mm,
That was, I have to say, because I was sitting here thinking, where did they go? I was like, oh, where did they go? Where did they put? And when they revealed the fact that they were on film
yeah.
itself, I thought, oh God. And the fact that they said that it took place back in the 50s and they hadn't yet changed the type of film stock,
Right.
because back then, I forget exactly when they ceased using that type of film stock, but the the films made back then, they wouldn't even allow them on cable cars due to how flammable they were.
Right.
But
Yeah.
and the fact that he said, did they ever check at night? No, I had a feeling when they met those three fans, I started thinking something's up. Something's
Well,
up.
well, let me
Something.
ask you a question. If this is the thing. So if he can only come out at night because he's a god of light,
Yeah.
then why would he try to be able to get out in the daylight if he can't get out in the daylight?
That was the confusing bit on my
Unless,
part.
of course, it's because there's the spoilers that the regeneration energy made him powerful enough to
Maybe
withstand
that
the
was
light.
it. Maybe it was the regeneration energy that helped him be in the light. Because I
Mm.
was I was expecting him absorb so much that he was destroyed.
But
But
was it really the spoon that, with the moonlight, that gave him power, or was it Miss
that's yeah.
Flood? Or
See
was it
that's
Miss
the
Flood
problem.
that just
See,
allowed them to
that's
come
the
in?
main problem I'm having is the fact that what was so special about that spoon that allowed him to come to life?
Well, it's not. It's more than that because they keep bringing up the spoon.
Yeah,
The spoon stopped Sutek. The spoon battled the gods of Ragnarok
yeah.
with the greatest show in the galaxy, Seventh Doctor. The 12th
So
Doctor
they're
battled
basically
Robin.
hinting back to the Seventh Doctor in a
The
way.
12th Doctor battled Robin Hood with the spoon. Like, it's just with the spoon. They
Yeah,
keep bringing up. And Matrix movies, there is no spoon,
yeah.
right? That's bullshit. So you liked it.
It was good. I said, I thought it was quite unique.
What didn't you
And,
like about it?
huh?
What didn't you like about it?
It felt like they took too long in revealing a lot of the stuff. That's just it. And the fact that, and it was, and the moment they revealed that the cameraman, he conned him with his deceased wife, I thought that I saw that coming a mile away.
Right.
I thought that's just an old trope they've used so often that it gets old.
What do you rate it?
I'll do I'll do another six. I will give them this much. I will give it another six because it was good.
Um.
And
Okay, continue.
the fact another thing I had a problem with is the fact that after he broke the lock, why didn't uh, why didn't he go come out through those doors? Because he would have known about the door being broke, the lock being busted. So it had to be with the regeneration energy that grant him the. I thought it was kind of odd the fact that when he was inside being filled up, he became more and more life worthy.
Like
But
in
yet,
other
right
words,
the minute he
because
exited the
he's
building, he
right.
returned to his cartoon self. I thought that was kind of strange.
So because he's a god of light, he can't exist in light,
Yeah, that was weird. It's like an oxymoron.
right? And he can only exist in nighttime because he's the god. So whatever.
It because there was a series called Automan years
I
ago,
remember that
and what was so weird about it is
he couldn't be in the day, right?
he couldn't be in the day, but yet just before the series ended, he could come out in the day.
Right. They ruined it. Okay. I don't know if you're aware, but I hated it completely.
I heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, it affected me all day. Um, and I just had a big debate with Joe. Talked to Joe about it, my son Joe. The show, in order for the show to continue, it's getting too much fantasy and not sci-fi anymore.
Yeah.
Somebody could always die and be brought back. So you're creating boredom
Mm-hmm.
because your people will lose an interest because there's no rules anymore, right? So when you had an episode like Earthshock, and it's like, oh my God, we got to
Hey,
save.
Joe.
Yeah, Joe don't agree with me, but I'm just saying I was talking to Joe about it. But when you have a thing where like Earthshock, where they have to save Adric and they may not save Adric, and it's the frenzy of defeating the Cybermen to save Adric, and the Doctor does things uncharacteristic, like
Yeah.
he shoots the Cybermen with the Cyberman gun. He takes the star of Adric and stabs the shit out of him, right? Trying to get to save Adric, and then they're too late, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, fuck the Cybermen, basically, right?
Yeah, because due to anger and grief,
right. Adric doesn't come back, right? And then, and that's it. This, the moment you find out that the people are on film, you know he's going to save the people on film.
Yeah.
It's predictable. There's no sense of...
Because you would think... You think the entity would threaten fire to those people as well, but he didn't do that either.
Right, like the enemy could have been the biggest enemy ever, and they ruined it. And the first act, yes, excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Ruined it on the second act because now you put this in people's heads. Some people, right, will believe, yes, Doctor Who is a TV show.
Yeah.
And they just proved it. But then they tried to say it's not a TV show, just the Whovians in there are the TV show, right?
Yeah.
And they would have to cease to exist. But then they lived at the end, meaning that Doctor Who is a TV show, or isn't it? So that's... Yeah. So that, but then again, it could be this flood.
Yeah, I thought the fan thing was interesting, but doing that ending thing, I thought that was unique, but that's another thing I didn't care about.
But then Miss Flood could be keeping them alive to make you think that Doctor Who's a TV show, but it's not.
Yeah.
But to me, that was a jumping the shark moment. That was when they started getting into it, like, you don't like when I fought goblins, and you don't like... I'm like, why? Why are you doing this? Like, why are you doing this? Like, to me...
Think about the Xena episode where they travel to...
Oh, the future?
The future, and they met the...
Oh, I hated that episode, too. Oh, yeah. I hated that episode.
Because that's what... Because when they brought that up,
when
they brought those fans up, that's the first thing that popped into my head, is that he copied from the Xena episode where that happened.
Well, a lot of things were copied. He copied it from himself.
Yeah.
A lot. Like Davros getting the regeneration energy, and Lux getting the regeneration energy, and healing the hand, like Matt Smith healed River's hand, and Andrew's Manhattan, and I don't like that either, though. He keeps copying himself. I don't like that. I'm starting to feel like, why are we copying ourselves? Why can't you do something
original? Are we that lost for ideas?
Right. Like, I don't understand. Every single episode now, we're copying off each other. It's either Shooty cries every episode, which everybody knows I don't
I
like.
think he cried in this episode.
He did.
Okay.
Everybody knows I don't like that, right? So they know that Matrix Lord 2 and 2, and they agree on that forever. But now you just and the Timeless Child destroyed the foundation of Doctor Who because now you're trying to make it that the first Doctor ain't the first Doctor, so now you just shit on Doctor Who, right?
Yeah.
Now this is worse than Timeless Child because 61 years of history, 62 years of history almost, is completely fake, possibly. So now how can I get into that?
Yeah.
Knowing that it's fake, how could I continue when it doesn't matter because it's fake? But it's not, but people could say it is fake now. And again, you go from hot to cold, to hot to cold. Robot Revolution, I liked it better than Lux. Now you brought me down to the ground, but then next week you expect me to be completely into the serious,
we're going to have
scary episode.
Have the Beast again,
right? But now I'm supposed to be completely serious, no comedy, horror. Now you expect me to just be into that, and forget about what I just saw about, the Doctor Who fucking logo is in Doctor Who. You believe that? The girl's holding sonic screwdriver, wearing the fucking scarf. They have Cybermen t-shirts.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Like I said, the moment I saw those three, I thought
that's a low point.
Like I said, the Xena episode, that's the first thing that popped in my head.
You know what? I didn't think about the Xena episode until you just told me. Now I remember. Absolutely, you're right. That sucks. That sucks. I was ranting, and you know what I rant, right? But I had somebody tell me to shut the fuck up on. I had that guy Matt that was in our show, the new guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up, he told me, because he got tired of me complaining about it. And I'm like, I didn't answer him. I wanted to tell him fuck off, but everybody can talk what they want to talk on Twitter. But he told me shut, basically in so many words, to shut the fuck up. You know me though. For me to be mellow, I'm more bummed out about Doctor Who than to tell somebody to go fuck off. But hey Bill, what's up? Hey Bill, what's up?
Hello.
Hey. Oh, not much. I've got a bacon wrapped meatloaf in the oven, and I'm here to talk about Doctor Who and whatever other random shit comes up.
All right. So what's up? What did you think of the episode?
Well, I'll say this: it was definitely a lot better than the previous one.
Really? Oh.
It felt more like science fiction, a little bit of that fantasy edge to it. I'm still kind of processing a lot of things, which I'm not putting that as a complaint.
Right.
The story didn't suck this time around. I actually enjoyed it. I didn't feel like I was watching them take digs at the audience. I was very amused at the part where they tried to make you think that he came into our world, but he hadn't.
Yeah.
That was very comedic. So overall, I'm giving this one, I'm going to say like a 6.5.
I gave it a 6.
Some people might think that's a terrible rating because they're used to hearing everyone screaming, 8, 9, 10. But I think of 6.5, not quite a 7. That's where I'm sitting.
Right. What didn't you like about the episode?
It must be a delay on his part.
There is a little bit of a delay on my part. It's not terrible. But as for what I didn't like about the episode, I kind of felt like the pace was a bit rushed on it. And I really felt like we could have seen more of what was happening with these people. It was like you don't find out until the end anything, and then at the end the only thing you really find is, well, they've been released, but you don't know if they've been suffering in there, if they've been blacked out the entire time. Right. I just felt like we've seen a bit more with it. It felt just a little bit on the lacking side, but again, it wasn't terrible. I'm giving it a 6.5 because it at least showed some potential and was again definitely way better than last week.
Yeah. I'm just gonna let me just see if Joe, if you want to come in, you can come in. If not, I know I understand. I know you're busy. But my son Joe is in the chat. Yeah, I really, really hated this episode. A million %. I liked it better than Love and Monsters, but I really didn't like anything about the episode. And the only reason I gave it a 1 is because after all the bullshit dealing in the episode, I like the fact that the doctor got thrown into the fucking wall like a goddamn fucking pincushion with his bones fucking cracking and the regeneration energy getting sucked from his life force. I thought that was a really cool fucking effect. And that the villain was looking awesome when he was getting regeneration energy. Otherwise, this is the first time I did not like Shooty Gatwa's performance. And I did not like the episode at all. We had a great first act, which is the first 20 minutes, the first interaction with the doctor with Lux, and then the second act completely destroyed for me the third act. And I am not one that ever liked the notion that the thing that you're watching is fake, and trying to fuck with people's minds about maybe it's fake, maybe it's not. Like whenever they did that in anything I've ever seen, I fucking completely hated it. So I also feel that I'm convinced that the whole season is going to be about cancellation, hiatus. Miss Flood is something that is altering reality to be like a TV show, and she's trying to cancel the Earth and humans and the Doctor. And I feel that every single interview that Russell T Davies has done lately has been orchestrated for Whovians to get mad, to talk about cancellation, because it ties in with the story arc of cancellation. And the reason why I'm arriving to this ludicrous theory is that, to me, I sort of feel like we're all manipulated. And my theory on that is that Marty has bumped into Russell T Davies numerous times, and Marty will ask Russell T Davies something, and then Russell T Davies knows he does the podcast because when Marty went for a job interview with Bad Wolf, they told Marty if he gets the job, he has to stop doing the Real Whovians cast because he can't spoil working for Bad Wolf what's happening with Doctor Who. And he said yes. But Marty wound up taking another job in the media, but he still works within the media with the actors connected with Doctor Who, connected with things for different shows. And he keeps bumping into Russell and Shooty and everything. And the last time he actually, before Russell went into the interview with the morning show, he asked Russell about season 3, and Russell told him, knowing he's going to tell me that everything is going to be fine with season 3. Season 3 everything's good, everything's under control. So Marty tells me, and I'm like, okay, this is what Marty said, and this is from Russell himself and everything. While I already heard that season 3 was happening from my sources with the BBC and others, this is even more of an add-on to it. And then Russell goes and he does the interview, and it's the complete fucking opposite of what he told Marty and what was told to me. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Why? What is this? Because, I mean, did he give us insider knowledge that so that way, knowing I would make a video about it, because everybody knows I'm pro Doctor Who and I love Russell, and I'm going to be the one to defend the show to the end. But then him making those things, like he is purposely making videos or things to piss people off so that we say cancellation. Is everything orchestrated? In other words, did Russell go to Disney Plus and say, you know what? Don't say anything about Doctor Who getting approved because I wanted to tie in with my story arc that Doctor Who's getting canceled and Doctor Who's a TV show. So just don't say anything, you know. And then maybe the thing with Shooty about season 3, cutting it from Grand Norton. It's like, to me, I could be wrong. This is an opinion and this is a theory, but to me, Russell, I feel, is super intelligent like Moffat, where they tricked everyone into reacting the way they always react. So that way Doctor Who is trending and everybody talking about cancellation, where in the series it's about the Doctor being canceled and he is a TV series. That he thinks will promote the show. And then when the show is done, because Miss Flood said after the 24th it's canceled and hiatus and Rest in Peace Doctor Who and everything, Disney Plus just comes out, season 3 is happening, and everybody goes fucking ape shit because it was bullshit all along and they were going to approve it, but different things were happening. So I kind of feel...
How about this? They set it up to where those 3 we saw in this episode comes out in some way, shape, and form that, Doctor Who's canceled. We feel
but
bad.
They said it in the thing. They said Rest in Peace Doctor Who. They said the leaks online, hiatus. There was Doctor Who videos in the background. There was shit in the background of Doctor Who. Like, are you kidding me? And the thing is, it was funny because when Marty got the press release that Mark Gatiss was the voice of Ring-a-Ding, right? And then I got upset when it was revealed that it was Alan Cumming, meaning that I felt my audience is going to think I deceived them, right? So I made a video saying Matrix Flow 212 is wrong. I'm sorry. Russell King's out the next day, sort of lightening it up for me, where, yes, he purposely lied to the media, giving the wrong name so that way they would report it. So you shouldn't really come down on people that reported it because I lied to those media. So it made me feel better, but then it started making me feel like a little bit that maybe we're being manipulated, you know? And again, if that is true, right, that we are manipulated, right? And then after a while, even feeling manipulated, I still going along with it, but I feel it's not worth it because the toxic fandom is so bad and the trolling is so bad that Whovians are literally trying to destroy each other. And it's getting unhealthy, and especially with, Noel going after me since August, that shit got out of control where my address was leaked. People have threatened my game streams. They fucking my livelihood. They threaten my books. They threaten all my income connected with surviving and living. We're battling each other. And then, he's trying to now take jabs at her, all these different things. And I'm just so done with the trolling. I just can't stand that my favorite TV show is being used in this way for fans to attack each other. And I'm getting really tired of it myself, dealing with the bullshit, right? So if I was manipulated, and so was he and everybody, I kind of feel it wasn't worth it because you're going to do all this for a 1-season story arc?
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth it? Like we're being, I feel like, I love Russell, but I feel like we're being used here. Yeah, bro.
Hey, Joe, I can still hear you, but I need to step away. I'll be right back.
Okay. So I just feel, again, I love Russell, and you got to, Scott, it's like, I understand what he's doing.
Yeah.
And again, this is an opinion, guys. I'm not saying what I just said is real because I don't know if it's real. It's just a pure speculation opinion. But if Russell was manipulating stuff, I feel that's wrong. because again, what happened, Scott? Because people, I was in the Sense Sphere before on the comment section, and they're like, "Oh my God, Matrix Lord, this fucking fucked up Matrix Lord. It broke Matrix Lord. He hates this, right?" If I'm one of amongst other Whovians, right? I'm not saying I'm the only one, but if I am the one Whovian that is
you
pro
just like
Doctor
the
Who
concept, but you don't hate the show.
No, but my point is, if
I
I am Doctor Who's biggest supporter, I'm not saying I am, but if I am, and if I felt I'm manipulated and then I'm broken and then I stop watching Doctor Who and I'm done, that's bad. Because if I'm your biggest fucking fan and I'm done, that will cause ripples also. Now, I'm not saying I'm the biggest fan. I'm one of the biggest fans, but I'm not saying I'm the only supporter either.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of fed up today. It's a miracle that I'm doing
enough. Seeing your show that you grew up with being turned and twisted in a manner which
it's not a TV show.
Doesn't fit, at times feels like doesn't fit the core.
It's not a TV. No. No. It isn't the season going downhill. It's this fucking episode says it's a TV show.
Yeah.
And then they said it wasn't. Don't do that. Don't do that to Doctor Who. Don't shit on the history. Don't shit on 61, 62 years. Don't cancel Doctor Who for real because you're trying to get it like I don't know what you're fucking doing. I just feel that this episode is dangerous because it's connected to the story arc. It's the beginning of the end, possibly. Russell, in my opinion, is putting everything on red. He is gambling. He's putting all his money not on black, on red, and then it could go to black. He could technically break the show rather than help the show.
Do you think, like you said, what if all this twisted and turned is just a manipulation to get us to think that not that the show should be canceled per se, but just get us to go, okay, we get this notion. And like I said, we had these three individuals that were introduced, and that was their red herring.
But it's a point that
the three that we saw was the red herring. So in their universe, Doctor Who's they're thinking is going to be canceled, but in reality, it's not.
But that's the thing; they're not. That you can't even do that. That Doctor Who's a series. Like you can't say that it's a TV show and it's not real because then that would turn people off forever.
He's got it.
Forever.
He's manipulating people. That's what RTD is doing. He's having.
I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying it's an opinion.
I know.
I'm just saying it's an opinion. I just feel that way. I kind of feel used. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying that
he could be using those people who he knows are big fans to get them turned around the report stuff and then turn around and go, boom, here's your red herring revealed.
I gotta tell you, and people don't understand it, and I go, it's only a TV show. You have to understand my history, right? And I go all back and I keep talking about everyone's childhood. At some point in time, when you become aware as a kid and you start to make decisions for yourself, like usually decisions are made for you, what you're going to eat, what you're going to drink, where you're going to go, what you're going to wear. Your parents get your clothes ready for you to get dressed up and go to school. But there's some point in time where your brain, you start to talk in your head. And your brain is formulating an imagination and ideas. And stuff develops that. Like certain things that we watch and see forms who we are today from the past. So just take it that I grew up on Doctor Who and Star Wars and Star Trek after, right? And if Doctor Who, like they say, humans are made up of 60% water, right? If Doctor Who was what I was made up of, mostly, and then all the other stuff like Star Wars, Star Trek, whatever, and sci-fi, right? Okay. And then everything stems from that. I want to be a writer, and I write books, and everything I do in my life is related to whatever, right? This is who I become. If you take if somebody were to go back in time and sort of like moving DNA sequences around, right? So if you go back in time to when Matrix Lord 212 is about to watch Doctor Who, and you prevent Matrix Lord 212 from watching Doctor Who, what would I be today? Would I be as heavily into time travel? Probably not at all.
No.
I probably wouldn't be involved in anything to do with time travel because I probably couldn't have got into Back to the Future if it wasn't for Doctor Who, right? With Star Wars, it's the space aspect, right? And the wars. And with Star Trek, it's about exploring, right? So we know that Star Wars was my first movie. So that was like when I was 3. That was my first thing about sci-fi, like the movies, right? And the Force and that. And then we know Doctor Who was when I was in kindergarten, right? And then Star Trek came after. I could have saw Star Trek the motion picture when I was little to choose, and I chose the first 3 movies I saw was Star Wars, was Godzilla movie, and it was Mary Poppins. Those are the first 3, and of course, I was all into Disney. I was all into space. I was always into monsters, Godzilla, and then of course other stuff happened like horror and stuff afterwards. But again, I was the main 3, right? And Singing in the Rain musical, I was into that too. So if you take that out of the things that make me up who I am, would I be the same person I am today? So that's what people don't understand. It's like because early on all that stuff was.
And you'd also have to look at it this way: if you didn't have that, would you be with Sharon?
Who knows?
That could also be
everything. Maybe I became maybe I
met somebody else.
Maybe I systematically, subconsciously went into the medical field to help people because I wanted to be like the doctor. Who the fuck knows?
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck knows?
And without that, you didn't.
Right, but what if that? Here's the thing: what if that was taken out of the picture?
Like I said,
and I became an evil scumbag because I didn't learn from different things from Doctor Who, like different life lessons. We don't know, but that's what I'm just trying to say.
You might be the null of that universe.
But that's the thing is like we don't know. So the thing is that this is not just a TV show for me. This is what made me who I am at such an early age.
Spit it out. Hey, Will, I'm sorry to cut in here, but at this point, you need to spit it out. We know you're the Valyard.
So he's been actually destroying all his things that he says were accidental. Wow. Is that right?
Do you know how many times that story arc was used in different like things we've seen in comic books, in TV shows, right, Scott?
Yeah.
In movies, they used Adam Warlock in the comics that his future self was the Magus?
Yeah.
Right? And then the Hulk in the future was the Maestro.
Yeah.
Right? And like the hero would become the villain, or be like they would have a twin, or they would have whatever. We've seen that in so many different things over the years and decades. But no, I don't see myself as a villain. Thank you. Ha. But that's the point: is that this is not a TV show to me. I mean, I'm 51. This has been my whole life, like Doctor Who, with the exception of not remembering before age of 3, which who really does, right? Who really remembers when you're 2 or 1 or whatever, right? With the exception, I think Joe remembers some things when he was 1 or 2, but like I don't. So like it's that's why people don't understand how I can't just stop watching Doctor Who because Doctor Who is part of me. Like I know that the guy Matt told me to go fuck myself. Like so many words to shut the fuck up and go fuck myself, basically about giving my opinion. They don't understand that this is not just a television show. This is connected to me as much as I have an arm and a leg, arms and legs, as much as I breathe, as much as I exist. So this is my lifeline. So you know, it's like a shock if you're without a body organ. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what people don't understand. That it's really affecting me because I'm close to the show. I'm just you know. But anyway, I do fear that this will lead to something negative, and that's why I'm worried, very worried actually now. But I still love Doctor Who. I'm still watching Doctor Who. I'm still supporting Doctor Who. I still feel the same that season 3 is happening, but I kind of feel that at what cost? Yeah, we'll get season 3, but what cost? Are we willing to destroy the show to get another season? Like at what cost?
I'm still feeling a lot of the stuff that we're seeing is red herrings.
So you had said earlier that you had said earlier that there was talk of hiatus, but I've got to tell you, I recognized that as a red herring as soon as I heard it. Because remember all of the hoopla about how with everything they've got going with Disney.
Well, no, see, I never said that.
That was a big deal.
I never said
this is
on every video I've done. I've never said the Doctor was going on hiatus. I said that people were talking about Doctor being on hiatus. I said that it's been in the episode, but I personally have never said that the show is going on hiatus. I don't believe it's going on hiatus. I believe the same as I was told before that season 3 is happening on Disney Plus, 100 million%, and that has not changed. All I said was that that's the clarification.
So I misunderstood your So I misunderstood your point on it, and it sounds like we're both in the same position that this whole hiatus thing's a big joke.
Well, Mrs. Flood at the end said that this is a short run where the day that the finale airs is May 24th, right? Mm-hmm. Making it that Doctor's a TV show and it's going to be canceled and go on a hiatus. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, besides it being implemented in the show, in reality, you have all these people making it that it's getting canceled or hiatus. And Russell, we never knew what question they asked Russell, where Russell said a pause or hiatus. He never said the show was going on a hiatus. He never said the show was paused. He said there's going to be a time where the show could be paused, or there's going to be a time where the show could be hiatus. Not that that's actually happening.
What if it's a play on words? Because we all know there's always a space between between each season. Well, if it's like a play on words.
Besides the source that's not Russell and Marty, right? I'm like my BBC source. Like, think about it. Think about it from. Let's not think about it as Doctor Who fans, Whovians, right? Let's think of it as a business, right? Let's think of it as a money issue, and let's think of it as the business, right? We were told that Russell had said that after Doctor Who season 2 airs, that Disney Plus will make an announcement, right?
Mm-hmm.
How could that be? How could they make an announcement before the spinoff airs? How could that be? How could they ever do that in any show ever? How could they make an announcement that Doctor Who is canceled before a Doctor Who spinoff airs in the fall? It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. It can never happen because they spent millions and millions and millions on the Doctor Who spinoff, right? Disney is different than Warner Brothers and DC Comics, right? Warner Brothers could make movies and say, we just spent $300 million on this movie. It sucks. Nobody's ever going to see it, right? So they just flat out cancel fucking Batgirl. And they said it sucks so bad, fuck it, right? They finished the Scooby-Doo sequel to Scoob, which was immensely popular during the pandemic. And they actually finished it even though they canceled it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're never going to show it. And they canceled Scoob. They canceled it after they spent millions on it, right? Disney will spend $500 million or $600 million on Captain America: Brave New World, and knowing that it could suck, will release it anyway, and it's bombs, right? They filmed Snow White, and knowing that it could bomb, they release it anyway. Disney never makes something and cancels it after they made it. They release it no matter what. So if Disney said, hey, we are canceling Doctor Who on May 24th after it airs, that means they will not be allowed to have the spin-off because the contract is null and void. So in other words, Disney Plus spent money on the spin-off that they would not be allowed to have because in the contract you're bashing the product, even though you're saying you don't want it on your network, then you can't have the product. So even though they paid for the spin-off, they would not be allowed to air the spin-off. So they would lose hundreds of millions. They would lose $100 million more.
There's one thing that you're not considering here, though, which is that Disney has been very good at screwing with franchises and pissing away money. I mean, look at all of this projects they've had now that have had to get reshoots or just be completely abandoned.
Yes, but
that would be par for the course. So really, this could still go either. This could still go either way. I don't think. Now, just to be clear, I'm not in the camp that says that it's going to be canceled. I'm just saying that they have a fair argument, even though ultimately, no, I don't think a cancellation.
But the point is that they spent all the money on the spin-off, and they want it to be a success because they put money into it, right? But if you announce that Doctor was canceled, and let's just say the spin-off still happened on Disney Plus, how could Disney Plus promote their product if they don't believe in their product? That means that they're going to destroy the ratings before the thing appears. They're going to be the ones to destroy their own show purposely, and they're throwing the money away. Look, we know that they waste money, but they don't want to. As much as money they waste, they don't want. They always think that they could recoup it, or they want to make the money back. They're not going to do anything that's going to hurt what they do, where they're 100% destroying the profitability and ratings of the show by canceling Doctor Who. So that's the point, is that the only announcement that will take place, 99%, is Doctor Who is season 3 is happening on Disney Plus. Right? Now, there's a lot of arguments you could say. You could say
it's
that
definitely happening, but
listen, you could say this is how some are going to spin it, right? And it may be true, it may not be true. Disney Plus wants the back catalog, right? BBC is not going to sell Doctor Who to Disney Plus, but they will sell the back catalog for a certain amount of years, right? For Disney Plus, right? And then years from now, maybe they'll go with Amazon Prime, and maybe they'll go with anybody else, right? So if Disney Plus wants the back catalog, that means that they're in Doctor Who for the long haul. because you don't spend all this money to get the backlog if you're going to cancel the show from your streaming service. So by the simple fact that shit's popping up that maybe Disney's going to have the back catalog is in the plus column of season 3 happening. And I think people don't understand this. So what could happen is we're in a situation where Russell wants season 3 and season 4, right? Disney doesn't want maybe season 3 or season 4, right?
I see more going with season 4 than season 3 because they have a habit of canceling their
no, but
you
know what? That's a paradox. That wouldn't make sense, though, dude.
I know.
No, it wouldn't make sense because they have to air season 3 before season 4.
I know. No, like I said, I see them doing not wanting season 4 because, like I said, Disney.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, so in other words, what do you do in the situation where you are going to make an announcement, but then you can't cancel Doctor Who from streaming service because you still have to do the spinoff, right? Mm-hmm. So what you do is you do a holdover. You compromise and you say, okay, Russell, because we still have to air the spinoff, we're going to give you season 3 and your Christmas specials, and then we'll see. So that way we can give time for the spinoff to air. Now, there's another factor too. Another factor is, let's just say,
okay.
Let's just say the spinoff airs, right? And let's just say the spinoff ratings go through the fucking roof, right? Now, if you're Disney Plus and the spinoff goes through the fucking roof, then you're gonna be like, okay, Russell and the BBC. Unit worked as a spinoff battling the Sea Devils. We want to give you money to do another Unit season where Unit is encountering someone else, right? Because we want a sequel for Unit because Unit spinoff the Sea Devils was so successful that the audience on Disney Plus wants Unit, Kate Stewart. They want that whole thing. So we want a sequel to this miniseries. We want them to give it a second season. Okay. And then Russell's like, all right, I will write this for you, but
season 4.
I want season 4.
Yeah.
So it's a sort of that's the thing. We're playing a game here. Okay. Yeah. There's a fucking game going on where Disney wants the back catalog. Disney wants the ratings to be good. They can't cancel Doctor Who, although they said that they were going to make an announcement after Doctor Who. So they can't cancel Doctor Who because it would hurt the spinoff. So you would have to do a holdover of giving them season 3 and the Christmas special. So that way they will still be with Doctor Who and they will air the spinoff. They'll see how the ratings are for that. The Christmas special, blah, blah, blah. And you get Doctor Who season 3. Now, Russell is really heavily wanting season 3 with season 4. And the reason he wants this is season 3 would be Shooty's last season.
Yeah.
And season 4 is the potential of a brand new Doctor, brand new companion, new sonic screwdriver, new TARDIS, new everything, right? So he's trying to sell it that way. Like, okay, from a business standpoint, maybe the ratings are working, maybe they're not, but you get a whole new opportunity to capture a new audience with a new Doctor, because every time there's a new Doctor is a change, right? So that's the thing, is he wants security. One season is not cutting it. He wants security. So maybe Disney doesn't want to commit to a season 4, right? But
But they would
They'll commit.
for a spinoff.
Right. So
if the spinoff does good,
right. So here's the thing.
Then Russell will have a shoe in going. If you want this secondary spinoff,
right,
you've got to give.
So they come to a compromise. Right now, here's where it gets interesting.
Otherwise, I won't give you your second season.
Correct. If you dissect the body language and the interview of Russell T. Davis, when asked, he said, and again, I strongly believe that somebody from another podcast had a person that asked him about the Christmas special for Spike, right? He said that from the first order of Doctor Who made for Disney Plus. Now, think about this academically. Think about this with your education. Think about this with school. If there was only one order for Doctor Who, and there was no other orders placed, you wouldn't say the first order. You would say the Doctor Who order that was placed, like you're ordering food, right? The only way you would say first order is that there's a second order that was made that we don't know about. And this is what I'm trying to educate people in the Doctor Who community to pay attention to what the fuck he's saying. Okay? He's not going to call it the first order if it's the only order. And while we're waiting for an announcement, it may not be the announcement we're waiting for because they know season 3 is happening. To them, these being vague, it could technically be he's waiting for the announcement for the 4th season, right? Because he prepared everything for the 3rd season. So all he has to do is shoot, right? The scripts are, he said, I am ready. We are at the ready. Everything is ready. We are ready to go. We're always ready, right? If the show is getting canceled or if the show is in doubt, why the fuck is this motherfucker talking about season 4 and season 5? Why would you even, if it was that much doubt, why would you even go beyond season 3 to actually write shit for season 4 and season 5 if Doctor Who is so bad off? And the answer is it's not bad off. It's the impression that he made to make you believe it's bad because you don't get the Disney Plus ratings because they don't share it. So you only go by the ratings that is antiquated and don't exist. Because if you're waiting for a Disney Plus announcement, who the fuck cares what it does in the BBC? Who the fuck cares? Because they're giving them money, Disney Plus, to do Doctor Who. So who the fuck cares what it does in the BBC? If the decision is up to Disney Plus to air it on streaming service, who the fuck cares? At the end of the day, who's giving them $100 million a season? Who? They are. And let me tell you, no matter what, whether you agree with me or not, $100 million makes Doctor Who look really nice. Sorry. Real sorry. But money and more money thrown at Doctor Who, it doesn't matter. Even if the episode is bad, those visuals, you may not like Robot Revolution, but that shit looked goddamn fucking fantastic. That villain looked fucking fantastic. Everything was fantastic. I like Disney money. I like Doctor Who Disney money. Do I want to go back to the fucking bubble wrap and the fucking cardboard box as a fucking space station? No, not really. No. Sorry. But just because you get a budget that's amazing doesn't mean you put out shit you don't put out shit Doctor Who episodes though. Don't get lazy and put shit. What? Don't put out shit episodes if you get a big budget. Do great episodes of Doctor Who. Push yourself to say, these motherfuckers give me $100 million. I'm going to put out the best fucking script I can put out. That's what you do. You don't get lazy. And I feel that him copying himself is a disrespect. Like, why is there multiple things connecting to multiple episodes? Why is it he did that with the Slovene and he reverted the Slovene to an egg, and now you did the same thing to the villain and you resorted him to an egg or sperm or whatever, and now you did the same thing as that in Boomtown? Why is it that the episode resembles Smith and Jones? Why is it that he's looking for Martha Jones and he's looking for Belinda and they're both nurse? They're both she's looking to be a doctor, she's looking to be a nurse. She's a nurse. It's the same thing. Right? Too many similarities. This episode. Why the fuck are you copying Angels Take Manhattan where he used regeneration energy to heal River's hand? Why is he healing his hand now? Why are you doing the same thing? Why? Why are we copying? Why are we fucking copying? Why, like, you're giving regeneration energy to Davros, and now you're getting regeneration energy stolen from you from the god of light, Lux? Why? I don't want to see copycat shit. I don't want to see it. I'm sorry, but you think that Boom is original, but the Fourth Doctor stepped on a landmine and Harry Sullivan had to help him get off the landmine. You copied a whole concept from the classic series and you put your name on it. But in this case, where it took 5 minutes or 10 minutes for Harry to get him off the landmine, the whole fucking episode is that. Right? You have City of
Companion.
But that's what I'm saying. I want new shit. You've seen in City of Death, the Jaggeroth was splintered in time into so many different parts and so many different eras of the world. And you copy that in Clara and the Great Intelligence. You have a time loop with the Doctor and what, Leela?
Yeah.
Or Romana? What was it?
Romana.
Romana, I'm sorry. You had a time loop with Romana and the Doctor, and then you do that with River Song with the TARDIS.
Romana.
Yeah, thank you, Romana. Thank you. And you copied that, right? And then the thing where he's in the TARDIS and he's like, whoa, 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 like skipping. That happened with the Fourth Doctor, where time was skipping with the time loop. And City of Death, it was like that fuzz thing.
Yeah.
Right? So you're taking from something that already existed, right? You're not making anything original. And in some cases, you're copying off of yourself. Right? So like you have the episode.
Excuse me,
right?
I'll be right back.
Yeah. You have the episode where in the episode Hyde, it was revealed that the first time traveler from the future is a descendant of the Warrens, who were paranormal investigators and are real life people, right? And then what happened? That was copied, and he made Orson Pink be the first time traveler because he's related to Danny Pink and Clara, right? It's the same thing, and it's the same showrunner. Like, you're copying yourself. Why can't we just do original stuff? You see what I'm saying?
He's doing exactly what Hollywood does. They've got to take something. They got to either do a remake, a sequel, or whatever. And that's all they know. They can't come up with anything original.
Rings of Akatan, they overloaded the planet, the god of information where he died. So that happened already. The Doctor and Clara Doctor thought he was overloading it, and Clara had to be the one to overload the absorption of memories, right? That killed that creature in the Rings of Akatan, right? That was copied in here, and he overloaded Lux, where he became so powerful that he became nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you copied off of an existing Doctor Who story and story that's appeared in other things. So I'm what I'm getting concerned with is, yes, there was the thing where Doctor Who could be a TV show in remembrance of the Daleks in the past, where the BBC is now announcing a new show called Doctor, and that was the Sylvester McCoy thing where he was in the diner, right? He was in the diner, he was having coffee, and when he left, they were talking about a new show called Doctor Who that was going to start, but they didn't say who. They said Doctor,
And then they
right?
cut it off. Yeah.
So this is a copy of that. This is not original, and I'm getting worried that I don't want this to continue. I want to watch something and say this is fresh, and if it's not fresh, at least you know it's not directly copied. They tried at least somehow to do something different, right? Like, it's amazing. You and I have said on the Real Whovians that they needed to. We said it in Doctor Who, and we said it with Star Trek also. They needed to do a thing where the Earth is destroyed.
Yep.
Right? Completely. And they did it. Right? Like, I could say something now, and they'll do it years from now. Right? I had a concept of a Doctor Who story, and I thought it was fucking ingenious. Right? And it was a different perspective. I want to say it, but then somebody's going to steal it, and they'll probably do that. So I'm probably not going to say it, but it involved the Daleks. I had an idea, but it's just I want. To me, it's not the direction I want Doctor to go into. That Doctor is a television show, and Miss Flood's going to cancel it. I'm not on board with that. I could be on board 99% of the time, right? For me not to be on board, it's rare, right? But if you start making it that what I'm watching is really, because you go to watch sci-fi and fantasy to escape the real world.
Yeah.
But if you're saying it is the real world that Doctor Who's a fake TV show, I'm not on board with that story arc. I'm not on board with the season finale if that's the case. I'm not on board with that at all. I can't be. And that's my take. I'm sorry I'm ranting. I'm sorry I talk too much. I apologize. Okay. Got it. I was wondering what that was. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being crazy about the episode, but by the simple fact that Miss Blood made it that this bullshit's going to continue as if it's a TV show and May 24th is hiatus cancellation time for Doctor Who. That's, that's it. You know what I'm saying? I know Phil had to go.
Okay.
So, I don't want people to think I'm hating on Doctor Who. It's just, you know me, and I'm honest. For me not to like something, Scott.
Yeah.
People are like in shock, and people were in shock.
In other words, you can dislike a concept of the show, something that goes in the show. You can dislike the episode, but you don't dislike the whole genre of the show.
I got mad because I had made an announcement that, and I thought about what you said too a lot. And I made an announcement that we're going to be doing podcasts more often. We're going to do Doctor more often. Podcast more often. What you said to me in private, like, struck a chord in a positive way, where we were talking about my health.
Yeah.
Right. And you told me, why give up the stuff you love? Right. Why are you not writing your books? In the past, right, you said, I didn't worry about having the money to publish the book. I would finish the book, and because the book was done, I would push myself to make the money to pay for the book, right?
Yeah.
So why would everything go differently, regardless of what my health is? Why would I not write anymore? Why would I not do podcasts anymore? Why would I not do videos anymore. Why would I give up
things get
gaming?
stressful?
Why
Just
would I just accept
Yeah.
the cards that I was dealt and just give up everything I love because I think
When you
it's
get
gonna be
stressed out in one area, just detour yourself
Just
in another section,
be
so that way
yourself.
when that stress
Right.
is not
Business.
totally
Right. No,
diminished,
be
at least
yourself.
diminished enough to where you can return to the main.
Be
content.
yourself. Do what you love doing to the very end. Not that I'm saying there's going to be an end soon. I'm just saying, just keep being
What I think
yourself.
is kind of funny, like I said, it'd be kind of funny if the hiatus they're hinting towards is just that, you know how shows take a break between one season to another. I mean, it's natural, but what if that is what they're joking about? It's like, oh, there's going to be a hiatus, but what they're talking about is just like that brief break between which every show has between seasons. And all this stuff, well, we're going to take a break, is actually a red herring to get people talking like what we're doing, hypothesizing, which is what we're doing, so that way it keeps the show alive between that break.
So let me pose this to Bill and let me pose this to you. What if, let's just say you work for Russell T. Davis, like you're connected with the Russell T. Davis brand, like the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to create the narrative that Doctor Who is going to be on hiatus or Doctor Who is going to be canceled, right? Now you already said in interviews that Disney has to make an announcement, right? What thing would get in your way to make it that you can't make people believe the lie that Doctor was canceled? What thing would basically say, well, that can't be canceled because this is happening?
I would say it would. I would say that. Well, to answer your question, I think the one thing that would get in my way would be a meddlesome Time Lord, but I'd steal his regenerations and do it anyway.
No, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, think of it as a TV show, right? You're trying to create the narrative that Doctor Who's canceled.
I know I couldn't come up with.
Oh.
I got
Scott?
you, Joe. I understood, but I couldn't come up with a serious answer. Silly one.
Scott, any ideas?
Get the notion what would prevent me from doing so. I would say
what piece of evidence would ruin the whole facade of Doctor Who getting canceled? What exists?
Exactly what we were discussing, the fact that we've got spin-offs. So if we got these spin-offs going,
let me make it clear. The spin-off, forget about the spin-off.
Okay.
What else besides the spin-off would break the illusion that you're trying to create that Doctor Who's canceled? What exists besides the spin-off that would basically say,
okay, too many Russell T. Davies and a lot of his other people coming out and having their interviews. Basically, it doesn't matter if it's about Doctor Who, doesn't matter what, but they're constant interviewing, either on whatever TV show or fan magazine. That would be one. If they would honestly say, if they would just strategically start drawing back and not giving as many interviews, that would give me hesitation to thinking, yes, the Doctor was going to be honestly canceled. But the fact that every time they're turning around, they're doing an interview. They're turning around and they're debunking something. If they would just come out, if they just slowly backed away from debunking the stuff, that is what would start causing me to think, okay, Doctor Who may be actually going to be canceled or put on hiatus. Okay. But their interviews, they're doing too many. It may not feel it because we're on this side, but I think their interviews with fan magazines or interviews in general is what's causing people to question even more so.
Okay, you want to know what the real answer is?
Fire away.
Okay. If the Christmas special exists, right? We know it's filmed, it's supposed to come out. If it exists, that means that the announcement can't be that Doctor Who's canceled because they still have to air the Christmas special, right? So if somebody asks about Doctor Who and he orchestrates and he puts a doubt in there, where he said when he first took over that while he is showrunner, you will guaranteed every single year while he's showrunner, you will have the Christmas special 100% while he's showrunner. And to remember that interview, and he said, think of the Christmas special as more important than the entire season of Doctor Who. Because
And
he
maybe
wanted,
that's also one of the reasons why a lot of the episodes are feeling as though they're lackluster. He's building up to the Christmas special.
no, but that's not what
I know.
I'm
I'm just
what
throwing
I'm trying
that
to
out.
say is what I'm trying to say is he said that if Doctor Who went off the air, he would still have the Christmas special, right? But if he's trying to make you believe that the show was canceled, he can't do that if the Christmas special exists. So even though he said that while he's showrunner, the Christmas special will 100% happen every single year, where Chibnall didn't want that, he wants to restore that tradition where the family comes together on Christmas, and it doesn't matter whether the episode's great or not. Just Doctor Who has to have a presence at Christmas time, right? If he said that that's going to happen every single year while he's showrunner, 100%, that they'll be able to get one episode out at least, right? And now he wants to create the image that Doctor Who is canceled. Well, if the Christmas special exists and you know that interview, then he can't create that lie and that illusion because we're waiting for the Christmas special. So what does he do? He says, he doesn't say the Christmas special is canceled. He said, oh, the Christmas special for 2025 is not part of that order. So now he doesn't say it wasn't filmed. He doesn't say it was canceled. But he gave people the opportunity to formulate an opinion where they think it's fact that there is no Christmas special. And if you cancel a Christmas special, you cancel Doctor Who. So Doctor Who would be 100% done. And it would look like Doctor Who is done if you cancel the Christmas special. And if you do a podcast with David Tennant and you start putting little shit in there about I'm looking for my replacement years from now, they're not going to pay attention that it's going to be years from now. They're going to be like, he's out. And if you do another series that's not Doctor Who, they're going to say, he left Doctor Who already. He's out. And if you have Shooty doing a play and he's not promoting Doctor Who, oh, he don't care about Doctor Who, he's out. He removed from Instagram, he's out. It all adds to the illusion. Oh, Shooty said Doctor Who Season 3 is happening. Then he got cut off. Oh, because Doctor Who's canceled. They're out. See what I'm saying? It's all layers added, right? Again, this is just my theory. This is my whole point. So I believe in my heart, 100%. I'm not lying to the public. This is what I believe. That all this stuff that you think Doctor Who is not doing good and it's canceled is complete bullshit. When Moffat, when anybody says anything, whether it be Russell T Davies or Moffat, they purposely piss you off. They purposely make themselves look stupid so you think they're stupid. They make yourselves confused so you formulate the opinion you don't even know what he's doing. You don't even know what he's saying, so it's canceled. He wants them to do videos that Doctor Who sucks and it's canceled because he's also got me doing videos that Doctor Who is going to carry on. Now, if it was a choice of who Russell T Davies is lying to truly, is he lying to me through Marty, or is he lying to all those Whovians that saying it's canceled? I honestly believe he's lying to them, not to me, because there's got to be something. One's true and one's not.
Yeah.
Right. And again, Noel said it best, and this is why he's not gonna stand it when it happens. Noel went on his podcast and said, and on streams and Twitter, and he said, "You're the only one, me, that's saying season 3 is happening and Christmas special is happening, and we are all saying it's not. So you are wrong, right? You're just a stubborn piece of shit, Matrix Lord. You're a liar. You're a grifter. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're a nut. He's a nut, guys. Matrix Lord 212 is a nut because he's not going along with our cool club. He's not saying Doctor Who's canceled. He's not saying this. He's an oddball. He's a fake fan. He's a sellout. He's this. Matrix Lord sucks. Fuck Matrix Lord 212. Fucking prick. Fuck that guy. Right?
How often have you been proven right in the long run?
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, Scott. And I have to fucking take a piss at Noel for a second. Did Jodie Whittaker know she was going to get fucking pregnant? Like, seriously? They're all going to do seasons and multiple seasons and Chibnall and everything, and they had the plan, right? And then she gets pregnant. And she can't do it because she knows she's going to be filming while she's pregnant, right? And she even knew how difficult it was doing that last episode, her health.
Yeah.
She can't do it. You can't spend money on special effects to block out that stomach, to block out thing. She has to run up and down. She can't do it. So it wasn't planned. And then she's like, okay, well, we're leaving. But again, no holds that on my shoulders that I'm saying Jodie was going to do multiple seasons. She was. Just like Scott. We reported what Capaldi said. Right?
He was going to do multiples, and then he got pissed off.
Capaldi said, I'm going to be the... Right, Phil? Capaldi said, I'm going to be the Doctor for 10 years. I'm going to be Tom Baker's record. Because I love Doctor Who. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. I'm Peter Capaldi. I'm going to stay for 10 years. Right? What happens?
He gets pissed off at...
Chibnall comes aboard. So naturally, he would have to have Chibnall as his showrunner. Chibnall doesn't want him. Chibnall wants Jodie Whittaker. So they're going to get rid of him. So rather than it look like he's getting fired, he makes an announcement that they weren't expecting that he's leaving Doctor Who. Right after how long before he said he was going to stay 10 years? Now, is that my fault?
No.
Is that considered Matrix Lord getting it wrong? No. Same thing like Jodie Whittaker. It's a thing that happened.
Something came along without your knowledge and screwed up the works.
Well, her knowledge.
Yeah.
But again, I said that Doctor Who was filming during the pandemic, and Noel said it wasn't. And then a year later, remember that? Remember Nolan problem being saying there's no way Matrix Lord is ready. He's flipping out because, like my source said, they're not allowed to film with restrictions and everything. Remember a year later they waited so they wouldn't get in trouble, they wouldn't get sued, they wouldn't go to jail, right? For lying and different to the public. And remember how they said, oh yeah, by the way, we did film when we weren't allowed to film. And we broke the law and the rules filming Doctor Who during the pandemic.
The connection remains stable, I'm back.
Yeah. But remember that, Scott?
Yeah.
Where they said, by the way, we did film and we weren't allowed to film with the new rules of COVID. Oh, well. And I was proven right a year later. And he had a fucking fit. Know how to fucking fit. Right? So, no, every year Doctor Who is getting canceled. And you know what? He's been wrong 90% of the time. Makes it like he fucking revealed the Sea Devils.
Every
first.
year we hear that Doctor Who is being canceled.
Yeah, it's like a running. We're literally going, okay, 5, 4, 3. Damn it, I'm 2 seconds off.
And I want to bring this up because it's hysterical. Sammy DeMayer gave Noel a death threat. So why is he going to the police to file a complaint on me? Why is he being a fucking coward and afraid of Sammy DeMayer and not reporting him? He's reporting me. Why are you reporting me? Because I'll make him the money and the views because he's talking about Matrix Lord 2 and 2. That's why.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. After he files a police report against me, right? Wait.
On that
he goes
note,
on into
that note.
Yeah, Bill.
Bill's froze.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, see, the thing is, right there, you're feeding that troll. The best thing that you can do with all of these dipshits is just ignore them.
Well, this is what I'm bringing to a point.
As long as you give into this drama, dude, this shit's never going to stop.
Well, I'm just gonna add this and I'm gonna drop it. I go, well, if you file a police report against somebody, that protects me too. You're not allowed to go on Twitter and harass me. You're not allowed to. That doesn't give you permission to attack me, right? And I said to him, did you tell the police you gave me a death threat on this live stream at time 10:28 to 10:40? And I shared the link. And you know what happened? He didn't want. I said, I'm going to arrest you. And what happened? What happened? He deleted the fucking live stream where he gave me a death threat, which I already recorded. Talk about a pussy and a coward. But anyway, that's what my point is that, like, this bullshit, all this bullshit. And again, think about it. Think about
Joe,
us fight.
You have him on, excuse me. You have him on something else. You have him on something else if we're going to delve into this shit. It's called evidence tampering.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. He tampered with evidence, yeah. So don't believe the fucking guy that says Doctor was canceled. What did he say? 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. How many fucking times is that? That his credibility is in the shitter, in the toilet. But this guy is the guy that makes a video about me being a liar and a grifter. So that's why he's angry, because most of the time I've been right. I've been right about people. Everybody told me there's no way Matt Smith is definitely doing another season. And I was the only one that said, no, he's leaving. And then everybody's like, oh shit, Matrix Lord was right. Even Moffat went in the goddamn Doctor Who magazine and he's like, he's staying, and he didn't. He left. And that was the fucking showrunner. So, and then, you know, he wants to make it like, oh, you're going to go against the showrunner. I'm not going against anybody. I'm just saying what's happening.
Going with your gut.
I've been doing this, and this is the thing. So then he starts, I'm almost done. He starts to say on Twitter, I'm not allowed to have this person on the Real Whovians cast. And I'm not allowed to have this person on Whofire or any of my podcasts. And I'm like, well, who the fuck are you? Who appointed you as my boss? I'm a leader of my group. These are my fucking shows. I do whatever I want. And again, that's it. So I'm not giving up what I love. I'm going to fucking do as many fucking podcasts as I want. And I don't give a fuck about my health. I will get myself healthy to motherfucking do these fucking podcasts. I will make my fucking self healthy. I will be a goddamn health guru. I'll do fucking meditation. I'll fucking be a karate kid and take up karate. I'll fucking be training. I'll be a weightlifter. I'll be whatever to be well and be healthy, to live a long life for my kids and my girlfriend, to marry my girlfriend and to see my kids and my grandkids and my great-grandkids and do Doctor Who. So I will make myself healthy and I will break the boundaries and I will cure what can't be cured because I fucking believe. So on that note, fuck you troll bastard leprechaun. I will fucking survive, and I will succeed, and I will be, and we will all be, because like I told you, Scott, if I get there, we all get there. I told you this, and mark my words. I become rich, guaranteed, and Ray knows this. What did I say? I said, I become rich, so rich, I'm going to fucking go visit every fucking real Whovian, right? And I'm going to make you guys better off. And we're going to do stuff together, right? And we're going to get shows on YouTube, like we're going to go ghost hunting. I said this.
Mm-hmm.
I said, we're going to get the equipment, right? And we're going to fucking do that, right?
I've got the equipment. I've just got to get the night vision camcorders.
I said, I don't even give a fuck if we're not talking. I said, we will go and I will fucking ask Dr. Freedom to do fucking ghost hunting with us. I don't care. I don't care if we're not even talking to him. I don't care. Because I made a promise. Right? I made a promise. So like,
and hello everyone, by the way.
If I get rich, Joe, if I just to throw it on the whole getting rich thing, if I get rich, I'm going to be surrounded by attack cassowaries on my property.
That's right. That's right. It's going to be like, what was the Pink Panther movie? Where he's in the castle with the moat, right? With the drawbridge. Love that shit. That was my favorite Pink Panther movie. It was so different, but right? That was my favorite fucking Pink Panther movie. I don't know what it was called. I forgot.
So how are we all anyway?
Where Dreyfus was like a goddamn fucking villain. He wasn't the police chief, right? It was so fucking like on crack, right? He was like a guy. What was he trying to do? Take over the world? It was so weird, right?
I think so. I have to go back.
That was just like that was like a fantasy Pink Panther movie. Like he's the hero, and that was crazy, right? Remember that episode? And that movie? That was crazy. Yeah. So again, you will see me everywhere. You will see me on billboards. I'm doing that, Scott. I told you. I was going to do that when I was doing the books. I was going to put the books on a bus. Remember that? And I was going to put them in the ferry, and my name was going to be everywhere, and I was going to be in Times Square and everything at the time. It's going to happen still. I don't care. It's going to happen. So, and my enemies will hate that, and I don't give a fuck because I'll find out if there's a billboard by their house, and I'll pay to put my face on it, so that every time they pass by that street, they'll see my fucking face. But dude, I'm going to do that for spite.
So
Daniel says,
anyway.
what's up, right? Daniel says, can we have an everything show sometime talking about Avengers Doomsday? Absolutely.
So
the everything show is coming back, and we're gonna, and that's another thing that has to change in order for us.
I remember that.
Yeah, in order for us to do the everything show, I have to start going to the movies again, and just be into the box office and all that stuff. So I have to work on that. So I fully intend to bring the everything show back and the horror cast back. And yes, Daniel, absolutely. And I gotta be on Ray's Paranormal Ripples. We gotta talk about the community.
Yeah, I gotta keep.
Yeah, we got to. And Scott's got to come back a few times when he's not busy.
Yeah. Oh, you've been on his show already?
Scott has a few times. He last time
nice.
A few months back.
Why don't you share that on Facebook? I don't know.
I do sometimes. Sometimes do but it's like you got to pay, ain't you? And I ain't got the money.
Why are you gonna pay for Facebook? You just share the link, copy and paste.
Yeah, but sometimes I like to do the multi-platform. So then I can.
So why don't you just copy and paste it on Twitter?
Well, I don't.
Everything is free. Why would you have to pay? First of all, I made the mistake, right, Scott? When I was doing the books, I thought you had to pay for everything, right? So I actually paid Facebook to promote, but you don't need to do that. You do it for free.
Yeah.
You copy and paste. You make a thumbnail, right? You put your face on one corner and on the other corner, Paranormal Ripples with Ray. And you put the fucking thing on Instagram, right? And you put your hashtags on it, right? And you put your links to YouTube channel in your Instagram, right? Then you share the link on Twitter. You go on Twitter and say, hi, I'm Ray, and this is my show, Paranormal Ripples. And you hashtag ghosts. You hashtag you know, all the stuff that would connect to your show. And then you go on Facebook and you do the same thing. And then you go on TikTok and you say, I'm Ray from Paranormal Ripples. Now, I could do that too. I do it on Twitter. I do it on Facebook sometimes. And I don't really do it on Instagram, or I could do it on TikTok, or you could do it on Twitch. I need to start doing that marketing-wise. But that's what you need to do.
Yeah. No, sorry I wasn't on earlier. I was out anyway, like for the day, and then I just finished watching WrestleMania, so that's why I'm late.
Oh, yeah, wrestling's today, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
But-
I watched the episode. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, talk about it.
God, where do I start? I fucking why was Mrs. Flood even in Miami? And why
Because
was
she's
she?
God or she's a Time Lord?
Yeah, but I'm not rude. If they're gonna say they said that she was gonna have a more prevalent role in this episode, I swear.
That they shoehorned her in. That was
I
just-
mean,
that
but
she
you know,
didn't.
but in the
That's
run-up,
bullshit.
though, I know he was.
She-
I know he lied. But when he was in the run-up, he said that this episode you'll see a lot more, and then you'll understand why she's what she is with the Doctor. And then no,
That was just bullshit. They just shoot her in. I don't like that.
no, I don't like that, and I didn't like that. And I didn't like the the Harbinger, Mr. Ringerdine. I'm not even.
I thought Harbinger was a god.
Yeah,
I thought it was.
I thought that was the Maestro's kid.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah,
When
That's
did
what I
they
was
twist
expecting.
that? And then they twisted it like, no, there's only Toymaker and Maestro, and the Maestro doesn't have a kid.
no,
That every guard has a Harbinger.
yeah.
When did that happen?
No, and then you go, and they don't even name drop Sutek, and then and I'm not rude. I know these gods are fucking big, but you know obviously. But then it's just like he defeated Harbinger so easy after he found out what he could do, and that it's like, really?
But is this
And,
like a
well, a
TV
bit-
show that they're
Yeah,
watching?
that's what I was about to say. That's what I was
They
like,
know every
and-
event. So God, could gods just know that every Doctor adventure because they're gods?
But you know it's an adventure that they all picked up on. Blink. Because we all talk about Blink being a banging episode. They talk about Blink. But why has Blink been associated with a fucking landmine?
I know why. You want to know why?
Go on.
Yeah,
Okay.
they should have said the pyramids of Mars.
No, I know. There's a reason why. You know why?
Go on.
Okay, years ago. So, in other words, when they were filming for 2023, they were filming what, 2022, right?
Hmm.
So, people did not know, except I did, that Moffat was on the payroll and Moffat was doing episodes for Russell for season 1 and season 2, right?
Hmm.
So, in a Twitter exchange, right, Moffat goes, oh, Sally Sparrow, you know, wouldn't it be great for the Weeping Angels to return and everything and blah, blah, blah. And oh my God, Blink, and oh my God, whatever. And Russell in the Twitter said, well, do it. Write it. I'll film it. And nobody saw that because they didn't know what the fuck was happening. So that means that season 3 or Christmas special or whatever, Sally Sparrow is going to come back and the Weeping Angel is going to come back. And that's what that means.
But
It's
yeah,
a foreshadowing
yeah.
for the Weeping Angels to battle the Doctor written by Stephen Moffat.
And you know, they never even mentioned the Weeping Angels because they expect everyone didn't pick up on it. But like, even the Doctor, they were just like, "Oh, you can't do anything. You can't blink the entire episode."
Because they just, that is implied that he's going to do
Yeah.
a sequel to Blink. That's the point.
Because-
And Moffat even said it himself. People are like, he's like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what scripts they got, what they're filming. I have no idea. I wrote so much shit. I have no idea, honestly.
What's
And
the
he's
sequel?
going.
What's the sequel going to be called? Stay Awake.
No, but again,
No, but you know
Look.
what I mean, though. No, you know what I mean. I'm a little laugh there, but it's just like, you know what I mean. It's just
because
like,
people love nostalgia,
yeah,
right? They love it, right?
Hmm.
They want to see Arnold Schwarzenegger in a wheelchair as the Terminator, right? They want to see him with a cane as Conan the Barbarian. at age 80. No, I mean it's sick. They want Sigourney Weaver to battle the aliens, right? When she probably can't even walk.
Well,
right?
look at Wesley Snipes when he come back as Blade in the new Deadpool movie. They all
They
loved
love it. They fucking they want Bill Murray and Ghostbusters. They don't fucking care. So he's jumping off of that and said, "Oh, that would be a ratings monster if I bring back the Weeping Angels and Sally Spyro and do a sequel to that." And hey, we got fucking David Tennant still, so why not?
Mm.
And Martha Jones is free, so why
now
not?
that I think about it, you know what would have been funny? Is if they had the same actress who played Sparrow as one of the three fans in this episode. And that's so basically she's talking about Blink because she's
above that. She's such a big actress. She's above that.
I know, but I think that would have been funny if they did that.
But you know, it's the one that did mention Blink at first with the Sideman looked a little bit like with her hair and that.
She's a big actress. She's above that all. But will she return to do an episode of Doctor Who? Absolutely. Absolutely.
And what about this 15 and time and the Tommy Lee thing?
Because it was not 15, it was 18.
Yeah, I know it's 18 because I was playing the ones we were saved on the TV.
Because
but then why was it 15 special?
Because 16 because there's been more than 15 Doctors. If you count the War Doctor, it's 16.
And Richard E. Grant.
If you count the Fugitive Doctor, it's 17. And if you count the Timeless Child, it's 18.
But then would you count Richard E. Grant and the Brain of Morbius' doctors?
No.
No, but would the
okay?
No, I'm not saying it in a bad way, but do you think?
No. Okay, so he admitted that he put Richard E. Grant in there because he felt bad that he disrespected him so badly that he said it was the worst performance of a doctor in the chakra thing, right? And years later, he's like, why did I do that, right? And Moffat made him the Great Intelligence, right? So it's implied that the galactic media that, like, just like we have our channels, like, and media, the galactic media got it wrong that he's a doctor because the Great Intelligence showed up all the time to try to erase his history, that they think he's a doctor, but he's not a doctor. It's not even, that's what that's supposed to be implied, that he's honoring Richard E. Grant, but he's not saying that but he said is basically fake. It's an Easter egg. That's what he said. It's not to be taken that it's real, but it's just an honor that we recognize Richard E. Grant as greatness. That's what he said in an interview. So that's that. But also, now we have the fact that Doctor Who may be fake. What do? You bring in the fucking fugitive Doctor, Joe Martin, this season.
Yeah.
Lovely. Now you just fucking added the fucking extra spice to this fucking season now. Great. Wonderful. Now what? Now fucking what now? Now what? What do you fucking do now? What do you fucking do now? Because now you're going to be like, well, what the fuck? Is she connected with the Timeless Child? Is she, what order is she in? Is she appearing because of the paradoxes? Is she appearing for the time pictures? Is she the result of the paradox? Is she the result of the toy maker altering time to implant a doctor like the Sisterhood of Karn? Yeah. And that's another thing too. Guess what? Maybe the 8th Doctor was going to regenerate, and they lied. The Sisterhood of Karn, because they needed to implant their own doctor. That when the mission was over, that regeneration kicked in. And he wasn't even dying. He wasn't even hurt.
And then you notice how on the last of the Time Lord thing come up again, and the Master's technically out there.
Every single time he says he's the last of the Time Lord.
No, you know what I mean, though.
Some other fucking Time Lord shows up.
Yeah. That gets boring, doesn't it? I know in this episode 2 years. I know.
Which means that Flood might be a Time Lord after all.
Every time you mention on the list of the Time Lords, either Gallifrey shows up a million times or the Master shows up.
Yeah.
All the fucking time.
I know you must admit though, it gets boring hearing that line all the time.
Because you know what it is? He knows it's bullshit.
Yeah.
And you want to know why he knows it's bullshit? Because he banished, as Lord President,
Yeah.
Rassilon and the High Council. And Rassilon and the High Council were off Gallifrey when the Master destroyed it.
Yeah.
They weren't there.
Well, let's just say it this way: destroyed it.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
the
even to
universe.
say,
That's just a handful.
yeah, but that's just even
If
to say
the-
that that's even the Gallifrey that he destroyed is even our Gallifrey.
If they're going to have the Gallifreyans survive, other than the council, because I'm sorry, who cares about a few people? The easiest explanation is that now they use colonies after it happened in the Time War, so that they never have that same risk again.
Right. And the sad part
It's
is,
that easy of a fix.
Chibnall didn't watch Moffat's episodes.
No.
He doesn't know that the Time Lords are in the fucking other universe. He didn't watch it.
No, Chibnall just wanted to come in and just fucking.
That's why it made no
Going
fucking
blind.
sense. He didn't fucking watch it.
No. He literally come in blind and just went, fuck it, I'm writing it my way.
Yeah, like people like, dude, did you watch it? No.
I'm
So
doing
they
it
got
my way,
out.
Fuck you. I'm doing it my
Right,
way,
but did
fuck
they
you.
get out? Why would they get out? They were hiding.
Yeah.
They opened up the crack. They threw Regeneration Unlimited out there. They closed up the crack. They're in the other universe. Why would they all of a sudden not be there? He didn't watch Hellbent. They said they're at the end of the universe in the other universe. They're like they said it with Capaldi that they're still in the thing.
It's like a pocket dimension, isn't it?
Right. They that's what they said. They're in there. So now you're doing a thing that the Master just shows up and they're not there. So what did you do? You know what happened? He fucking went in the goddamn black hole. He wakes up because the vortex manipulator absorbed the blast from Johnson's master. Missy regenerates into Sasha Dewan. He's on timeline 2. There's Gallifrey. Fuck those motherfuckers, and he kills them all. That's it.
It's a shit show in a way, isn't it?
And they just trick him, or somebody alters the Matrix and they make him believe that the Doctor is the one that started the regenerations. So he gets pissed off. It's all bullshit. They trick the Master, and it's probably the toy maker, to start this whole shit. And that's it. It's all bullshit. And Joe Martin now isn't connected to Timeless Child because the Master didn't even know who the fuck she was.
No.
The Master knows the Timeless Child and all the fucking people the Doctor was, but he has no idea who the fucking Joe Martin is. Fugitive Doctor. So she's not even connected to the Timeless Child. So what does that tell you? That means that it's all bullshit. The whole Timeless Child is bullshit because the Master made it like he knew every incarnation. He didn't know who the fuck he was.
This is, like I said, this is how I had set it up. But this is how I can get around the Timeless Child thing. Have it set up to where the whole Timeless Child, there's a plot line by Rassilon to not only retake Gallifrey, but to distract the Doctor by sending the Master, pardon the pun, doctored information. So that way they each would be killing each other, per se. The Doctor kills the Master due to what happened in End of Time Part 2. The Master, the Doctor, due to what happened in Hellbent. The Joe Martin Doctor is either a Chancellery Guard or a member of the Celestial Intervention Agency, who's either commissioned to investigate or took it on her own course to investigate who was breaching the Matrix. Gets caught, brainwashed to find a TARDIS whose exterior resembled the exteriors of the Doctor, along with a corrupt info stamp. So basically, she's there to double, triple down on what the Rassilon sent the Master. Then we turn around, have it revealed that Tectoween, instead of being one of the founding 3 and who discovered regenerations, in reality's one in a handful who's gone out to either battle or investigate the whole giant vampire situation. She's the one that finds the child, but her experiments killed the child, she gets sentenced to Shada. Or we turn around and have it set up to where the child happened to be Tectoweens, once again, due to her experiments, gets sentenced to Shada. But due to events that happened, we're left to wonder whether Joe Martin's doctor is her daughter, and either due to purposeful or accidentally has her memory erased. If they go that route, they can resolve all their little matters with the timeless child.
You know what I think? I have a new theory. You know what I think?
You're not going to get fucking zold.
I think that Mrs. Flood is the Valyard.
Ooh.
Could be.
Because what did the Valyard try to do? Get the Doctor's regenerations, right? Fuck up reality, fuck up the Matrix, lie. He was the one that made the court believe that the Doctor committed an act of genocide in the trial of the Time Lord. He was still alive at the end. He had the key to the Matrix. He manipulated the Matrix for the Master to think that the Doctor was this timeless child thing. The Valyard behind everything.
I've seen people say 3 people: Lilani, River, and fucking Susan.
I think it's Valyard.
I can see either Valyard or River Song more than I can.
That maybe the Valyard got like access to regenerate once, but ultimately that Kate's the Doctor. So yeah. But now we also have the evidence in Robot Revolution that the Doctor encountered someone in the future from a different timeline that gave him information. So who the fuck was that? Is that what this thing is with Joe Martin's Doctor? That Joe Martin's Doctor tells him, you need to go save Belinda Chandra?
Sorry, it was me.
Maybe.
He had that big of a crush on her, that's why.
Yeah.
There's, I did like the device that he was doing, like the Vindicator, because to try and get to 2025. But then it's just like, apart from that, I was like, the episode just was like dire. He found it was like easy to defeat a god again, like, you know, it's like.
I'm so over the goddamn fucking gods on this shit. I'm so over it. I'm done.
Yeah.
After this, I'm done. I don't want them anymore. I'm done. Toymaker I'll allow to appear a final time, but with
and Maestro,
Harris,
I'd say one more. And Maestro, I'd say one more.
She already appeared, if you count the proms.
Yeah.
I still think it's funny how the Maestro resembled Harvey Korman. I was looking through a Doctor Who magazine today at Barnes and Noble, and they had a few pictures of the Maestro. Yeah, the Maestro looks like Harvey Korman.
He does. And I kind of hope that Russell, when he said that the Maestro was going to appear again, I hope he didn't count the proms.
Yeah, me too.
Same thing like Rogue. I mean, he said that, so he has intentions of bringing them back.
He's still got. I know it's a big thing because I'm pissed off with it still, but he's still got to sort out the mess with Davros.
Davros is supposed to appear in season 3.
He's still got to sort that mess out, though, isn't he?
Because
Shooty was and the Mavity thing.
Because Shooty was in a play with the actor that played Davros, and Russell went to the play, and the intention was that because of Mavity sends ripples into the future that alters and prevents Davros from getting into an accident that goes in that life apparatus that creates the children in need Davros with the Daleks, but without being in the chair.
That Mavity thing needs to get fucking sorted. I'm not even with you, Goggle, you three. That's the
and Davros comes back. Davros invades Earth as normal with the Daleks.
Isn't it, though? That Mavity thing's like the biggest bullshit ever, though, isn't it?
It is, but it's got to get resolved because in order for Davros to be restored, that has to be fixed because then it will send ripples back. And then at the end, you'll see Davros back in the life apparatus that he's restored for like a couple of seconds. You know, but that was supposed to be rumored to be Shooty's regeneration in Christmas 2026. So that was supposed to be the final thing. You know, he got his wish. He got to face the Daleks. He gets killed. He regenerates. That's it. And again, I heard the rumor that Russell is still going to go ahead with a female doctor.
We're going back to a female.
They need to wait. I'm sorry. They need to wait 1 to 2 more doctors.
I've heard that they tried to convince him no.
Well, you have to remember, too, that Stephen Moffat is also doing some writing. And because Stephen Moffat is also writing, there's a very real chance that somewhere in here, the Doctor is going to fall through the sock gap and get trapped in the giggle loop.
Sure. And also, I was told that he took Jodie Whittaker and Mandip Gibb out to dinner, and they wanted her to be in an episode of Doctor Who as her doctor and companion, probably to ease in the new female doctor in a multi-doctor thing in the future, years from now. So,
do you think we'll ever get? I know it's going to sound like a silly question here, but I'm going to say it. Do you think we'll ever get to a time when we'll see a trans doctor? Like,
I don't know.
Because I don't really, at the minute, anything looks like it's going to be going, doesn't it?
I don't know. I think I kind of just want them to stop taking the wheel and spinning it. And like, oh, we haven't had an Asian doctor yet. There we go. Like, if you have to cast on race and not if the person's the right person for the job, you fucking lost the plot. You failed. It's got to be they try out for the role and the best person for the job gets the role.
Like David Tennant back in the day.
Not you're just looking for a female. Not you're just looking for a diversity hire. And again, Alan Cumming was asked to be the doctor and he said no because he could not commit to being 10 months of shooting. But he would have made a great doctor, Alan.
Oh, I would love to see. Or even a master. He would have been good as a master, too.
He would have been fucking phenomenal.
Or Medlin Monk.
He would have been a phenomenal doctor.
I think a Medlin Monk as well, Scott.
100% a doctor. 100%.
100% a doctor, yeah. But if he wasn't a doctor like the Master Medlin Monk, he could have been good as any of them.
I would have fucking loved to see that. We already got him as two villains. He was already in Witchfinder.
I know.
Oh,
and
that's
now we
right.
got him in,
that's right.
And we got him in Lux. So bring him back as the doctor. That would have been cool. But he's too famous. We're lucky we got him for this. Which again, you know what? Nothing against him because he was fabulous.
Yeah.
But the script was just shit. In my eyes. Not you guys like it. I don't like it.
What made me laugh? No, I don't know.
But I was talking to Joe and I was like, how the fuck can we go from hot to cold to hot, right? So how the fuck could we go now where next week's episode is pure horror, pure serious, no joking around whatsoever, fear everything. How can we jump like that? How can we jump like that? This episode was ridiculous today. Well, and now you want us to be like, oh, let's get ready for fucking horror. Well, and then what are you going to do the following week then? Right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, do you agree or no? Yeah, do you think that I'm like the hot and cold? That like I'm like feel like we're being bounced around like a goddamn fucking yo-yo.
Well, what made me laugh with it was when she even said when he was explaining to her about the segregation thing, and she looked surprised, and then it's like, don't you know what?
You don't know history? You don't know?
Didn't you go to school and learn history?
Jesus, you don't fucking know that?
And then, and then she was like, how can you live with it? He's like, I'm living in the world until they change their way. I'm not part of history, like.
And you know what gets me pissed?
What?
he makes them like he's afraid to go full awareness of what happened in that time period, Scott and Bill.
I know.
Right?
I
Like,
understand.
He's afraid to be like these motherfuckers were scumbags to black people and people were like
Yeah.
flat out racist pigs. Like
Yeah.
they weren't nice at all. Like they
Yeah.
were just fucking nasty. So like he's afraid to
Push
piss
the
off the
boundaries on
fan
it.
base by making them look like nasty motherfuckers when that's what they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right? You're not supposed to make the villain or people that were nasty look great.
Well, no,
You're not.
I know. I hated the episode because of from point of view because I didn't know. Because obviously I searched it up after. But Rosa Parks, look at the difference between the Rosa Parks thing with how they were treating the blacks and everything to tonight's episode.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying it in a bad way, but you know what I mean. With the Rosa Parks one, they were pushing it. Chibnall was pushing it a bit. Russell's like, I don't really want to push it.
Yeah, they're just gonna talk. They're not allowed to be in the diner, but they're gonna just talk to them and be nice to them, and that's what.
And she I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna push to break the law here because I want to talk to you.
That's ridiculous. What did you rate it, right?
4. I watched it twice. I'm not rude. I'm hoping I see it once this season. But you know what would have made sense? No. I'm no. You know,
I gave it a 1, and I'm not changing.
I know.
That's
So you know
6.
what would have?
And
You know, go on, I'm sorry.
Garrett.
No, I was just gonna say. You know what would have made sense if they did? Because it seems so easy to trust him, right? But remember when back in the days before when people couldn't trust him, he used his flashy.
They ruined it.
His psychic paper. His flashy psychic paper.
They ruined it. She should have been the whole season a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Where's the son? Well, you know what I mean with that woman he talked to in the diner, who was about her son.
The woman in the diner should have had. Now, the woman in the diner should have had a tinge to her voice because they were sitting at the counter, and they didn't do that.
No.
Now Belinda
expression on her face like, you two should not be here, and talking to them in a loose manner
condescending,
that make them want to leave.
I don't even know what's worse, that or Belinda's like, I love you, I believe in you 100%, and I'm not going to be a bitch the whole season.
I trust you now. Yeah, I trust you now.
What do you mean? This is the first fucking adventure that you have with him, knowing who he is. You're supposed to go the whole season being a fucking cunt. Now you're not. Now you're, I fucking trust him. Yeah, I'm on board now. I'm a companion, everybody. Hi.
But you know what I mean? When the doctor used to go into these places, psychic paper was always a thing that he flashed and said,
Indeed.
"Oh, such and such." But now it's like, where's the psychic paper to say, "Oh, he did
Down the window."
doctor,"
that was
people believe
tenants
it.
or whatever.
Matt Smith used it too.
Yeah.
And if you do remember, Jodie Whittaker,
Baldy used it. Jody used it. 14
David used it again. David used it again in the specials.
Shooty already used the psychic paper.
But he never used it tonight in tonight's episode when
No,
it
not
could have
tonight.
been useful. But which would have made more sense, you know.
Unless they were afraid the psychic paper was going to be a crutch and they wanted to try to steer away from that.
I just.
No, but
I'm happy we got Moffat there to be like, all right, we did this in this season. We did this in this season. We got to try to fix this plot hole. We got to fix this from the past. We got to explain this. So I like that Moffat's like an advisor. He's like there, but they need to make it better. It's not good. It is not good. This is not a good episode at all.
It's getting ridiculous, though. I'm not even. How many times in the last few years have we all sat here in this show and afterwards and gone, there's more plot holes than answers?
Well, next week he's crying like a motherfucker. Next week.
Again.
Next
like
week.
He did with Sasha. Like he did with Sasha.
Fucking ridiculous.
We still don't know the connection with Sasha, and yet he cried like a fucking. He lost a girlfriend or sister or something.
Stop fucking crying, please.
Yeah.
Please. Stop fucking crying. Please.
Yeah, the whole emotive thing is getting a little bit annoying.
Fucking beg you. And again, I get it. The 10th Doctor cried. I get it.
I'm
The
touching
11th
into
doctor
feminine
But
cried.
he didn't
I
do
get
it
it.
as often as
Side,
Hagen.
I get it. The 12th doctor cried. I get it. But he's crying every fucking
Yeah.
episode. Please, God,
Can we-
please.
because he cried.
Please.
Instead of a doctor that cries, can we get a doctor that gets angry, yells real loud, and breaks shit?
Yeah.
Can we get a human nature family of blood where he's so
Oh.
motherfucking pissed that he tortures them like a goddamn fucking nut? That he fucking traps one in the mirror, he throws one out the airlock that's with chains, he fucks them up, all of them, right? Could we get that angry?
Can we get
Maybe?
Can we get Time Lord Victorious angry?
Could we get Matt Smith angry where he's just fucking Colonel Runaway? Like, just
Or,
fuck.
or Time
Or,
Lord Victorious.
Peter
Joel.
Capaldi throwing the fucking Clockwork Man out the
Yeah.
fucking window?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Just
Yeah.
fuck it, right?
No, but you know what's gonna happen? He'll start getting angry and then he'll cry. I'll be like, why am I doing this?
Even Jodie Whittaker was angry when she was facing off against
Yep.
that female Dalek.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up. And I'm like,
And
that's
then-
amazing. That was
and she was
amazing. I
pissed-
love that shit.
And she was pissed off also with Sash Dewan's master, weren't she?
I loved her. I loved her. Love that.
And then David was even angry, weren't he? When he done the specials, weren't he?
I love it when David Tennant's pissed off as the doctor. I fucking love it.
But when she gets it, it's like I'm not even seeing one.
I don't like this. I don't like this pansy bullshit. Like, I'm ill and I'm the doctor and I need to retire and like fuck that.
It's like when he had that thing when she was on trying to go through the wound on his hand and he goes, "Oh, by generation, I've got a bit left saved over."
Oh, please, shut the fuck up, please.
And then you go and wait, and then I know it was.
Sutek is killing everybody. You think he's gonna be eating an apple in the fucking garden? Like that fucking her daughter's sending her a fucking message on the iPad. Doctor, mom, we're fucked. Look at Sutek. Look at this motherfucker. What do you think he did? He went in the fucking TARDIS with Donna Noble. He put the fucking spoon on that planet for Shooty to get. Like that's what it is. Like, where are they? Where is the 14th Doctor and Donna Noble right now? Where are they? Where are they? They're not in the universe anymore. Where the fuck are they?
I don't think even this. I don't think this season we even get what's her name, do we? Rose.
Supposedly Marty said that they filmed a memory TARDIS. Whoa, I lost this for a second. Supposedly Marty said that they filmed a Tales of the TARDIS with Rose and a mother for the anniversary of Rose. So that's what we're supposed to have.
No, I mean
You guys
like
hear me?
Rose is in Donna's kid.
You guys hear me or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean I don't think we get Rose like Donna's kid.
Yeah.
Because she works for Unit, doesn't she? Rose.
Yeah, she's gonna appear this season
No.
again. All right, guys. I think we're done. I'm tired. 2 hours and 3 minutes. I'm like,
Because with a fork.
I gave it a 1. What did you give it, Scott? A 6?
I gave it a straight 6.
Okay, Ray, you gave it a 4.
Mm-hmm.
What did you give it, Bill? What?
I thought you said a 6.
I'm still sitting at a 6. Maybe I'll revisit it after I watch it again.
Okay, we will return with the Real Whovians cast. As people want to appear, we might do more on this. I think some people are reaching out to me, so I'm not no promises. But if not, then the next episode of the Real Whovians cast, unless otherwise notified, would be next Saturday. So we will be covering The Well, which supposedly is the sequel to Midnight, which I'm a little worried about because I thought Midnight was perfect, and I don't know if that's a good idea, but we'll see. All right. Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye.